make sure it's recording. So, how's things with yourself? You're okay?
Yeah, I'm cool. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I do apologize about last week.
No
But,
problem. No problem at all. Health go first.
I suffer with PTSD from my time in the military. So when that plays up, it's, it's not good, really.
Oh, sorry to hear.
So
Sorry to hear. But
start
hey, man.
beginning.
Kudos for you to talking openly about it. I mean, come on, we need more of that.
Oh, thank you. I I I try to do as much as I can to bring awareness to PTSD because,
Yeah,
especially mental illness, because one has created the other. So I've got
exactly.
to take plenty of medication to get through. So a lot of it is to do with that. So, but thank you anyway.
Of course.
Um, so what was life like for yourself growing up?
Well, personally, I grew up in a small town in the middle region of Sweden, a place called Dalarna, and it's how do you say? I'm searching for the words now in English, but it's a place where music thrives a lot there in all kinds and shapes and forms, and particularly that region is quite known for its folk music
Yeah,
throughout in Sweden. So I actually started playing the violin when I was like 4 years old.
wow.
That was quite early, and growing up, found rock and metal, and then at that point when you're like 12 years old, I don't want to play violin anymore. That's not cool enough. I don't want to rock out.
Well, the funny thing about it is there's so many bands now which have the violin connection.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
and when I quit it and started playing the bass and drums instead, all the peers and everyone was grown up, who according to me and my friends didn't have a clue about what's really cool and stuff like that. All of them kept telling me, you will regret this when you're older. Trust me, you will regret this, and you'll pick up the violin again. And a few years back, I was like, man, I should not have put the violin away. That would have been so cool to know that still.
Yeah, it's surprising because there's so many classical instruments now which are being brought into the heavy metal scene. It,
Yeah,
it's crazy, but it works so
it,
much. It's
yeah, it really does. I mean, rock and metal in general. It's n- it's known for being creative and breaking new boundaries, but I'm not sure that I really experienced that in the scene in general as much as I did like back it up only 12 years. I mean, I don't know if I have heard anything, new and totally groundbreaking since Periphery.
yeah,
I mean, of course, new stuff is happening, but I mean, something like totally new, groundbreaking. What are they even doing stuff?
yeah. It's but it's like I know there was other bands which brought in the classical orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
But Metallica, I would probably go as far as to say, brought it mainstream.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at least with the live DVD, they did the performance mode with the S&M. What was it, 98 or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's
Yeah,
got some years, but it, I think because of the speed of their songs, it
yeah,
you would have classic rock bands which have used orchestras in the past, but I think it's because it was like the first thrash band to incorporate.
Yeah, definitely. At least orchestration, but I mean, the classical inspiration has been there a long way. I mean, me and a friend of mine, a really good guitar player, John MT, talked about this uh, some time back, and it's really. I'm not going to give all the credit and kudos to Ingrid Malmsteen, uh, but you can really hear a difference, especially in guitar solo playing from various artists from when Ingve had not happened and when Ingve had happened.
Yeah,
I mean, for I think at the time we were listening to Steve Lukather, you know, Toto,
yeah,
and it was so distinctive to hear. Okay, this is from the era when Ingve Malmsteen has not gotten his breakthrough yet.
yeah,
And after when he has gotten his breakthrough, you can hear the change in other guitarists playing
yeah. He's an
because
amazing
it was
guitarist.
again
He's an amazing guitarist.
amazing guitarist and an amazingly influential guitarist because
Yeah,
everything was very bluesy before that. I mean, it still is, but he really brought the classical inspiration into rock and metal to a whole nother level.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Growing up and all out, what was your musical influences? So what was the bands which give you that driving force?
Oh, and here I am being interviewed for ÅSKVÄDER. In regarding an ÅSKVÄDER, I really have something of the black sheep when you ask me that question. Because all the other guys, they are really oriented in classical rock and a lot of the so to say action rock, you know, Turbo Negro and helicopters and all that. I'm not. Well, some classical rock I definitely am. I kind of grew into this metal and rock thing when all my friends were listening to Linkin Park at the time. They had just gotten their breakthrough, and you know, so was I because you
Yeah,
listen to what your friends listen to. But then at one point, I remember I followed my mom and my little brother to the library to borrow books, and they had this CD section.
yeah,
And I was like, yeah, why don't I just check that out? What was I? 11, 12, something like that.
yeah,
And I flipped through the hard rock section. And, you know, I didn't listen to hard rock. I didn't even know what genres were all about, you know, but, you know, hard rock, yeah, that's cool because
yeah,
supposedly it's cool. And then I flick through and I see the city with this sort of skull on or skulls, and uh, and I recognize them, and I recognize this logo. I couldn't even read it at the time because what is this supposed to be, an A or an X or what is it? I have to borrow this, and I had to take it home and listen to it, and it was actually this very same CD. Wish I actually have it. Was this one?
Oh, you cannot beat Iron Maiden. I was I was very fortunate. It was the very first Iron Maiden album I purchased by
No,
myself
no
was
way!
After Death, and
Wow.
to this day, it's still my favorite. My second favorite live album, because Kiss Alive, because I'm a massive Kiss fan.
Yeah.
Kiss Alive was it, but like you say, I I was very similar because the
Mm.
first thing which I saw was the album cover, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, what's this coming out of a bloody grave?
That was drags you in at the first place, right?
Uh, yeah, and it was I can totally relate because of I Main is just something special, lady.
Yeah, it's really. I remember it was very funny because the first track on this record is actually Number of the Beast. It's a best of album, is the Number of the Beast, and I was 12. I didn't even know what this was. I was only, dragged in because of the cover.
Yeah.
A Number of the Beast starts out with someone talking, and I didn't hear it at the time when I pressed play. So I was,
Yeah.
isn't there any music? So I turned the volume up quite much. Oh, there's someone talking, and then comes the guitar. Now, whoa! I flew back because everything was so loud.
Did you grow up in the era of CDs or vinyls?
CDs.
Right. Now, with vinyls,
Yeah.
going back all these years, you would always, someone would go, there's an hidden message. You got to play it backwards
Yeah.
and get the message. And it would ruin your record because you'd
Yeah.
be like, what's that? Or the devil says you got to join him. So you're like, well, I can't hear it.
Yeah.
So, but you can't do that with CDs. So,
No, but you can hide messages between the tracks.
yeah, yeah,
On the minus side.
yeah.
That's kind of funny though.
Yeah, it was crazy because obviously going back all those years, you would go, there would be hidden messages in your vinyls.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you'd ruin your albums going back those years.
Yeah.
As I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. These mean a lot to me, these albums. So I don't let anybody play them backwards.
Yeah.
I had one Kiss album which I had ruined because I was playing it backwards, and the price of it now on the second market, I'm like, oh no, I can't believe I've done that.
Oh, but come on, it's part of the growing up with the rock thing, right? You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, it's like you would lend your friend a vinyl,
Yeah.
and it'd come back and it'd have writing all over the cover, and you were like, what have you done on my record and the whole lot.
I also imagine being, when you listen to rock and metal as a youngster, I mean, you gotta have the rebel nerve, right?
Yeah,
And so when you listen to the devil's music, and suddenly it becomes accepted by the masses.
yeah.
Oh, I gotta play it backwards now, right?
Well, that's what my motto is, because it's got Hangman Entertainment bringing you the devil's music. So
Yeah.
even going back all those years and coming forward all those years, I
Yeah.
still class it as the devil's music
Yeah.
because you're looking for him. You're looking for him on your records.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
how did you all meet? How did the band meet? Uh,
Um, well, I'm actually the last guy in.
right.
It was founded by Martin Gut, or Martin Gut, as we say in Sweden. And I know I've heard this story from over the shoulders a few times, but I don't know how much I've really listened. but I mean, he I know he has been playing in a lot of bands from time to time. One of the bands was called Naver Leif, which was some kind of jazz fusion, and he actually played in it with my cousin. And this was when we both of us lived up in that region called Dalarna. We both live in Gothenburg now.
Yeah.
And anyway, so when he founded ÅSKVÄDER, it was, I don't know my years here. Was it 2018, 19?
Yeah.
Something like that. and it was with completely other members from what it is now. I know the bassist. I don't know if he was playing in Lucifer at the time or if he joined Lucifer right afterwards. But bassist is was a Lucifer member. But life happens and all that stuff. So eventually, people got swapped out because family and moved to other places. Time, the kids, all that stuff happened. So Martin had to find new members, which ended up with August and Albin. Albin's a singer and August is a drummer. And earlier, no, not earlier this year. It's 2022, June last year. He wrote to me and, hey, we kind of need a bass player. You're up for it? Because he has been he's been just checking with me, a few weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Would you be interested? I mean, yeah, why not? Maybe. Let me know if it's going to be like that or not. And then the message came. Okay, where we need a bass player, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm up for it. By the way, we're recording an album in 2 months, just so you know. You need to kind of like write the bass lines. Okay, they're not done. Well, kinda.
What's your weapon of choice? What bass guitar do you use?
Actually, it depends on what I'm playing.
Well, I do apologize.
No. Don't apologize. Dogs are awesome. Just trying to tell you something.
Yeah, it's noisy. Well, right, I do apologize.
No problem at all. But weapon of choice. Depends on what music I'm playing. But with ÅSKVÄDER, I go for the most true way. I have it here. I'm sitting in my home studio now. This is the one.
Oh,
That's
stunning.
my beauty. A Fender P bass Professional 2 series. It was actually made in 2020. So 2020 in Corona, California.
Amazing. Absolute stunning bass.
Thank you.
I used to play bass, and mine was a BC Rich. It was.
That's a metal one.
It was called the Beast.
Yeah, it goes good with that shirt of yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. A Lamb of God.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong, can you?
I mean, it says it was BBC they play BBC basses, right? No, Kerry King play those guitars. So
yeah, Kerry King, he is his BC Rich, and
yeah, it's a BBC Rich, yeah.
It's ESB, I think.
Yeah.
So, what was it like releasing? Because your debut album came out in 2020.
Yeah.
What was it like? Did you have the opportunity to do any sort of gigs before COVID took over?
Well, I gotta have to refer to us as they because I was not in the band at that time.
Right.
But I know they did a few shows with that album before COVID took over, and during COVID was kind of also when the whole member shifting phase started happening.
Yeah.
But I know they managed to pull off at least 2 real life shows, which wasn't just streaming things with the present singer Albin and drummer August. But I don't know if they managed to pull off any more shows during the worst time of COVID than that.
Yeah.
But since I joined, we recorded the new album, which releases now on Friday, and we have done 3 shows so far. One was in Sweden. We had a little window in the late fall where our restrictions got lighter.
Yeah.
And then they came back. So
I just finished my review. I reviewed the album this morning.
Oh, so, awesome.
Yeah, really, really good album.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's a solid album.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it gives you a classic rock style, but it is like a sprinkling of punk.
Yeah, I mean, it's very to me, maybe more than to the other members, it's very clear how the influences from the action rock scene are there,
Yeah,
but it's definitely not pure action rock. I mean, it's way more bluesy than that.
yeah. It's yeah. Um, I can't remember which song it is, but one of them is it comes across like a blues ballad. It's not like a
Yeah,
true ballad, but it's it's definitely blues inspired. And
yeah.
it's a really really good song.
Yeah, thanks,
And
thanks a lot.
the reason why I call it like a ballad is because like when you get uh when you get albums and you get a one you've got um all the songs which are pretty much of one G, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden you get the one which is like the ballad, a bit slower, and
yeah.
I, I am got my notes on me.
So no problem. I mean, if you want us to put a ballad on a record, it has to contribute. Contribute. English. Come on. Contribute. What's the name? How do you say it in English? Contribute. Contribute.
Contribute.
Contribute. Thanks. Well, you know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say. To the album. I mean, at least in my opinion, you can't put a ballad just to put a ballad on the record. I mean, you got to have that ballad. It doesn't necessarily has to be a hit song,
no,
but if it's not adding to anything, it's just there.
yeah, no,
And
it's a brilliant song. It's really, really. It's like you've got all the fast paced, the
yeah,
catchy riffs and choruses, and then you've got. It's like a standout song by itself, and then it
yeah,
goes back
definitely,
into the speedy choruses, the catchy riffs, and
yeah, yeah.
into that it just stands out like I call it a ballad because it's a bit more slower. It's not like a true ballad, but it's more bluesy.
It might be the song "Head Home" then. Uh,
Yeah,
might be the song "Head Home," uh, because that's the slowest song on the record.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely the slowest. The rest
Yeah, and
are
it's what when you say it, it's yeah, it's probably the bluesiest one as well.
yeah.
I want to say
Oh,
probably.
definitely bluesy.
Yeah,
It's like I say, it's you're listening to the album and it takes me back to I would probably say back to the 80s and 90s when um, you would have you'd have the full setup of the album with the songs, and then you'd have one which would be um, normally released as a single.
yeah, yeah. Second single or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant album.
Thanks.
What plans have you got for touring at the moment?
Plans for touring. We're released. You said touring, right?
Yeah, touring.
Yeah, it hacked a little Skype. The We're releasing the album now on this Friday, and we're doing a release show together with the Gothenburg band Bottle Cap here on a Fyrens Ölcafé, it's called.
Yeah.
The light the Lighthouse's beer cafe
Oh,
would be the translation something.
yeah.
Uh, and So that's our next show. And on Tuesday, we are flying down to Spain for 5 shows. So that's gonna be ÅSKVÄDER premiering a Spain show.
Yeah.
We haven't played in Spain with ÅSKVÄDER
Yeah.
yet. So that's gonna be really fun. 5 shows. And I know we are landing in Malaga, and from there go on to Granada and some other places around. So
Um,
it's super fun. And I know and then we have a few Swedish shows before in the beginning of June, we will be driving down to Germany and do a couple of shows there.
amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun.
Yeah, yeah. It really, really sounds it. With finally, any UK dates, or festival appearances, and what's the future plans for the band?
Well, we don't have any UK shows planned, but we are always open and we are always looking for, you know, how. Oh, I hate this word, but we're always looking on how is the market right now. Oh, this is a better word. How is the scene behaving? In every countries, but. I mean, you could book everything yourself, or you could turn to a booker with experience or everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try Spain now and see how that turns out. I mean, I'm sure it will be just awesome. And Germany, I know Oscar has been in Germany before. I think, not with me anyway, but and so that's gonna be awesome as well. And I know we are looking to maybe expand to some other countries around as well. I know UK are in the talks, but nothing planned. But the future with ÅSKVÄDER is, play as much as possible, as long as you juggle the ordinary life and all that. And also, I know Martin has already started writing songs for the third album. So,
And I can't wait.
yeah,
Absolutely.
me neither.
You more stuff. This has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Good luck with the album on Friday.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Through.
Looking forward to that review.
Yeah. It's yeah, I wrote this morning and it'll be out on Thursday. Yeah, the reason why I do it so close to release is for a number of reasons. Because sometimes I get from the record labels, I've got like embargoes on certain albums.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I release this early and then balls it up and get it wrong, or do I just release them all on the week they due to come out? And
That's awesome.
I can't be done then, because it does get quite tricky, especially with labels. When I had one on Friday, I had to I had an embargo. I had to release a music video at 10 a.m. and I weren't allowed to do it any time before. So
okay,
you're like, right, I can't. Or if I do accidentally release it before, then I could get blacklisted.
Yeah.
So it's just not worth taking the risk. And so much free music is amazing.
Yeah, keeps on coming.
Yeah. So this has been brilliant. To speak to you very, very soon, and good luck with the album.
And thank you. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Thank you. So nice chatting with you.
Yeah, and yourself.
Yeah, and take care, man.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Keep it up.
And yourself.
Rock on.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.